And maybe that's what God wants you to be, because you see, for life to be a balanced ecosystem, somebody has to be poor, somebody has to be rich.
Exactly.
There has to be a gatesman, there has to be a head of security.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Unpack with Nay, a show where we have wholesome and authentic conversations. And in today's episode, we have Mai Atafo, founder of Atafo brand, and we're going to be unpacking a lot about creativity, loss, building a sustainable business, and how to live a life of contentment. I hope you enjoy watching. If you do not forget to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe and share, and let's unpack. How would you describe your personality?
I'm a very jovial person.
You think?
Yeah, I know.
No, you're saying like it depends on if you're dry or you're saying.
Oh, it depends on how you engage me.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you think I'm going to engage you today?
That'll be for you to tell me. I only react.
Okay, so we'll give like a final verdict when we're done.
Okay.
When we're done with the interview, the show. I don't like to say that it's an interview, so we're just having a conversation.
Let's chat.
So,
Let's just.
but okay, I'm good. It's such an honor to have you.
Thank you for having me.
I feel like you were this close to saying no, but thankful.
I wasn't. You just thought I was hard to get, but I've known you for a while. So I mean, if you tell me your project and if this is the way I can assist your project, why won't I come on it?
Yeah. No, but I'm just like, I want to have a conversation with you because I was telling you that we haven't had like a serious like one-on-one conversation in like 100 years. Since
I've known you.
Yeah. So we're ready to unpack. Okay.
Yes.
So
Take it from the shelf.
No, yeah. So I just want to. We want to understand the man behind the Atafo brand. Okay. As cliche as that sounds, would you say that it's a brand worthy of emulation?
I would want to believe so, and I don't necessarily judge by brand. I like people do that because if you start to say your brand is this and your brand is that, I think that's the time you start getting up in your own ass. So it's like, let people tell you what you are, because that's why you're building what you're building. Yeah. It's not really for yourself, it's for people. Yeah. And that's the separation between Mai Atafo and Atafo. Atafo is for everybody, Mai Atafo is for me.
When was the one time that you felt like the most proud of the brand that you've built?
I don't know, there's a one time. I mean, there's several times.
Or maybe you just felt like, I've made it, that type of thing.
I'll say I've tried small.
As in you've tried a little.
I think it was when I got invited to Harvard University to come and speak.
Okay.
And I didn't think, everybody has this idea of going to Harvard University to study for one short course. I didn't think the first time I'd been there was for me to actually go and speak to students of the university. So that was something.
So what's something else that you would want to like take off your, do you even have like a list of achievements that you like to tick off?
I don't know if there's anything big enough for me that I've written right now. I say I want to work. How did you say that thing? Your dreams should scare you?
Yeah, you've never had that.
They don't generally scare me anymore because I feel like they're all achievable, even though I've not achieved them.
Yeah, but okay, so let's take it back to the Mai Atafo that started a brand 11 years ago. You obviously had like a checklist, You didn't have it.
Funny enough, I didn't.
Really?
Yeah.
So you just went in blindly?
It's funny that people begin to think that I had this big plan to do fashion. No, I just went into fashion because it was something I love to do, and I went to just see what I could do with it. So I quit my job and said, okay, let's do this and let's see where it'll go. So did I have a plan to be #1 menswear designer on the continent? I didn't think that far. I just went to make sure that I was producing things that were good enough for people to wear, and they liked it. And that's still my driving force till today.
I like that, because that's going to be one of my questions about mindset, having the right mindset to start a business. Because for me, I feel like one thing I haven't done ever is to dream, and I only started dreaming. Even with the show, just the first thing I actively envisioned, and then it feels so good to now start ticking the boxes and stuff. Do you feel like if you were the kind of person who had checklists, maybe life would be different, maybe your brand would be different?
Possibly.
Yeah.
In life generally, we excel or we fail based on the pressure we put on ourselves and not what other people put on us. Other people may influence it, but it's really you. So if you wanted to rent a house and you couldn't rent the house, you'll feel really bad, feel like you missed something, but no one knew you missed anything. And that could depress you.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So once I started realizing that's what life is, I stopped that.
Yeah.
So I have the ability not to worry.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah,
you're
I
one
thought
of
it was
those.
common to people, but
No,
when I
it's
started having a
not.
conversation with you, I realized
No,
that,
it's not.
oh wow, like if something happens today, I have no control over it. I can't reverse it. I can't change the course. I literally move on. Like in a blink, I move on.
So is it one of those things that you figured out that you had the ability to do when you started working, or is something that you've always like you felt like you had growing up?
No. It happened to me.
Okay.
I don't know if to say fortunately or unfortunately. It was one of the darkest period of my life, which was in 2000 and if I remember very well now, 2010.
Okay.
Yeah, and I had two incidents in my life that happened, and after I went through the two, I realized there are a lot of things in life that you can't control,
Yeah.
and everything around you will move on. You know, it was when I lost my dad.
Okay.
I lost my dad in it was July 4th, and we buried him August 4th, right? And all my siblings came in from overseas, and everyone to just come into the funeral. I was the only one here. And I think I called that chapter of my life The Making of a Man, because I was in Lagos. My dad passed in Ekpoma, where he was working. And the next day I drove there, literally. And you're driving there not to know what you're going to see. And I get there, I see my mom. She's in pieces. And Nigerians were very special. When you lose people, you're the one that actually consoles, rather than them console you. People are crying and you're telling them sorry. And so invariably I was the man. So I was telling everyone sorry, trying to make sure my mom was okay and that. And literally what happened was that at that moment you had to switch from managing a situation or mourning or crying or feeling some kind of emotions, at least planning the funeral.
Yeah.
So I left my mom and went to the morgue to see my dad's body, and that was a blow. The next day I was in Benin buying coffins. Yeah. So it's like you didn't have time to even take it in, and you're already planning for a funeral. And I was the only one here. So I had to go to the village and talk to the village, go to here, do that. And that happened. It felt like it happened so fast, but it was so slow because I was feeling everything. Then my siblings come. Then now they see my dad's body and they're going through the motions. So I have to start telling them, it's okay, it's fine. And I'm doing that with them.
You're the first?
No, I'm not. I'm actually the sixth.
Wow.
Yeah, we're a large family, we're 9. And I'm going through that motion and making everyone feel okay and blah, blah, blah. Then funeral is over, everyone's like, yeah, it's all done, going back. And my elder brother today was meant to travel overseas. He had a car accident and he died.
What?
Yeah. After he came for the funeral, the day was meant to travel back, he had a car accident and he died instantly. And I'm in Lagos again, and they called me and said, Benga is dead and is in Abuja. So I had to do it all over again. So go to Abuja, did the thing again, saw my brother's body. And I just started having a conversation with him. I'm like, dude, man, this is not the plan, dude. Like, have fun now.
Wow.
And literally I broke down there. And that's the switch again. Now we have to bury him. No one come down, please. I can't handle this. His wife and his kid came down. We did all we had to do, blah, blah, blah. We had to bury him. So I think one of the interesting parts of this was that a lot of things make things in life. He was 33 when he passed. Wow. When Abuja were burying him, we were there. I can remember opening the casket and I saw him. He was sweating. I had to start cleaning his face. It was just something. And I looked around and life was going on. The guy that was shouting, waiting for the taxi was shouting. The conductor was conducting. Buses were going. Police were stopping people. The hawker was hawking. Everything was going on. So you're feeling this amount of pain, but life is going on. It now makes you realize how small you are in the world, or how big you can be in the world. And we buried him. And that period of my life changed things because, death is you going to one side or the other side.
Yeah.
The only thing that is guaranteed to anybody here is death. That's the one gift you must take. Generally, you can't hide. You know, you must get death. And so that changed my whole perspective. Realize that, you know, now you live life for who? For self.
Yes, for yourself.
Now, when you impact people along the way, great. Now, that's a gift.
I love that.
And do not misuse it. So it was at that point I said I was going to do everything I wanted to do. So I went to be a fashion designer. Like, I want to start it. That was my trigger point.
That's how you changed.
My first love is music. I wanted to sing. I have a song, by the way, in case you do not know.
Wow.
Song that
you
has
have
a
such
video.
A rich voice.
No, this is not a singing voice.
How does a singing voice sound?
This is a voice that you can have on radio, and I can play Dr. Love.
You have.
Who's the caller on the other side? Hey, what do you want to talk about? Who broke your heart today? And Dr. Love is here for you. Yeah. But, you know, so I said I want to have a song. I want to have a song. I went to act in a movie. You've acted in a movie.
Yeah, you have.
I just wanted to do everything that I felt like I would, good, bad, or ugly. I just wanted to do. I went to experience life for myself. And my whole thing of going into fashion actually started from that point.
Wow.
And so now that I have some kind of influence, which I do not take for granted, I manage it.
Yeah.
And one thing I told myself is that the day that I go, at least I want the world to stop for 1 second. Just 1 second. They go like, whew, that guy. And let people feel something, hopefully good.
Yeah.
And they should go on back to their lives.
Yeah.
And that's my act, and that's why I'm doing what I do.
Yeah.
But I don't depend on the people because that's not the determining factor of what 100%. I do for myself.
Yeah.
So I say things like I could stop fashion today.
I feel like
and take a 9 to 5 somewhere, and I'll be very happy because I do it for self.
Yeah.
You know, so I tell you, when you do things for self, you realize that you are happier. And people say, "What makes your soul happy?"
Yes.
Not what makes you happy, not makes you smile. What makes your soul happy?
Yes.
That's literally, if you're meant to be in this room alone with nobody interfering with you, will you be happy by yourself?
Yeah.
When you think about what you've experienced in the past, what you can experience in the future, what you're doing right now, will you be happy? And that's how I've made my life. So my life with myself is very, very colorful. I don't need outside interference to make it even better. If it comes, great. If it doesn't come, fantastic.
The thing you said about like what makes you so happy, my own version of it is what will spark joy? Like what sparks joy? I'm literally always chasing joy, like down to what I eat, where I'm going. I have to focus on how something truly makes me feel, you know, as opposed to what people, you know,
and you can create that by yourself.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with acquiring material or not material things.
It really doesn't.
Like you can sit at home one day and think of some things and just start smiling because you know what? I've lived a great life. I've had experiences. I've traveled. I've met people that are amazing. You know, I think my life is great.
Yeah.
Anything that happens from this point on is amazing.
I love that.
Be realistic with yourself. I probably would never be able to live in Banana Island in my life, and I'm great. Do you understand? So the drive to want to live in Ikoyi, right? It's not. It's not a goalpost to me. It's not a dream. Do you get what I mean?
I think it's just contentment. You're just content with where you are.
Yeah, wherever you are, and maybe that's what God wants you to be. Because you see, for life to be a balanced ecosystem, somebody has to be poor, somebody has to be rich.
Exactly.
There has to be a gatesman. There has to be a head of security. Just that God, He's very intentional. If everybody had to be a banker, who would put the money in the bank?
Yeah.
Who would be the musician? Yeah. Who would interview me? Do you get what I mean? So it's all balanced. So we are all playing our role in this theater. You know, and one time the curtain goes down. When you open the curtain again, one cast member is no longer there because they've passed. But the story of life or the theater of life always continues.
Yeah. I think that you've lived a very, full life. Even on your own terms, it's very full. And I was listening to a podcast the other day. I think it was Kendall Jenner and Jay Shetty, and she was talking about Virgil's death and how like it's one of those deaths that when people, what you said about stopping, you know, people actually stopped.
Oh yeah. Oh, I stopped.
Like people actually stopped. It's one of those deaths that just it just hits. And I think it can only happen when you live life on your own terms and you are there for other people.
And to realize that guy knew what he had and what he was
Yes.
carrying, and he
Yes,
did like
exactly,
we didn't know.
exactly.
He did everything.
No one knew.
It's like, and no one
He
knew.
was still showing
so he
up.
was very, very certain
Yes,
of his life.
yes.
You know, so everything he
So
was doing was
beautiful.
very intentional. It
Very
was on purpose.
intentional. Very, very intentional.
Yeah.
So it leads me to my next question. Like, I feel like hearing you talk about this, I can imagine how much of yourself that you give even to people that maybe you possibly mentor, like to your staff and all of that. How do you take time off to yourself to like recoup or whatever the word is? Like, you know, just get your energy back up.
You know, when they say when you do what you love, you never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
People miss that saying, or the way I interpret it is a bit different. Because I heard someone say something that, you know, you work to make money so you can buy back your life. And when he said that, it was so profound because he wasn't working for anybody. He did a tech startup and he sold it and he made money. And he said he doesn't have to work anymore. But this guy was walking on the streets of New York.
Wow.
He was going around whatever he was doing. And I said, if this guy is 40, if he had made anything in excess of $16 million and said, I will live on $1 million a year, that means he would live till 100 years and have $1 million every year. And $1 million every year is good.
Wait, did you do the math?
That was what I assumed. I always try to assume things, right?
Okay.
So I'm like, great. So he has bought back 60 years of his life if he wants to live up to 100. So I realized that all we are doing with money is buying back our life. We owe a death. And once you're making the money, you're buying back your life. That's when you go on holiday, you're buying back your life.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if you could do that every day, you do that. But you can't afford to do that because you need to make the money. Then when you make the money,
That's so cool.
right, you are going to buy back 2 weeks holiday. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
The pictures you capture, the videos you capture is for the life that you like. That's what you post on Instagram. And when you work, you want to buy more of that life. Okay? So if you can make money to buy back your life from society or from the economy or from the universe, you're happy. So for me, that's what I am thriving to do. How can I buy back my life? So in a way that, let me buy back every single Friday for the rest of my life. I bought back my Fridays. So on Friday, on Thursday evening, I'm going to play PlayStation till 3 a.m. because I bought back Friday.
Oh, so you don't work on Fridays?
No, I'm just saying so.
Okay.
I haven't bought it yet. But you know what I mean?
Okay.
So that's the way
like that.
I look at it. So I'm working so I can buy back. I'm working so I can buy back. Now, if you have the chance to buy back a major part of your life, and this has to do with people that are very, you know, not too greedy. You know, because people want to buy. I don't want to own a private jet. My life doesn't need me to own a private jet. Do you understand? If my life needs me to own a private jet, because when I'm done with this interview, I'm in New York,
somewhere else,
I get that. But if me buying a ticket to travel is okay for me to get to my next destination and come back, then I'm fine. Okay. Do you get what I mean? So, and that's the way I look at it. So that gives me a lot of contentment thinking that, okay, what I need this for is for this. And I work in the material business. So when people go crazy over some material things, some designer bag and shoes, I laugh because I probably make my shoes in the same factory they make those shoes.
Oops, yeah.
And why mine is going for like, you know, $400, that's going for $3,000. And I know what the in-between is. I'm like, okay, now you're officially very stupid, but it's okay. Do you get what I mean? But again, I'm building the kind of brand that, you know, we'll do that tomorrow.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I think that you should be more focused. And when people realize that material things don't determine who you are, then I think you've got one up in life. Okay.
What's the most material thing that you own?
My
that
house.
you just like splurged? No, forget your house. The house is basic needs.
My splurge is funny because I never, like the most expensive item I think I've spent money on at any point in time. It's ridiculous. Probably it's one perfume or bag.
Interesting.
Yeah, like I like my bag. This is one of the most expensive bags that I have, material things that I have, and it was under $500, but I like
Wow.
it. And
We
it's
like
no
that.
name. Is
Yeah, it was a nice
exactly.
bag. It's a really nice
It's
bag.
not any of those things. Do you get what I mean? And
But very, like, I mean, not even very soon. I feel like most people would still consider a Tafel brand like luxury.
oh yeah. A lot of people
Yeah,
do.
so it's like,
Coming to me is a splurge, but yeah.
exactly like.
I know, and I like that.
Yeah. So when was the first time you owned a suit? What was the first time you got a suit?
Did I buy a suit?
Yeah.
I mean, when I was young, my parents bought suits for me, so that was great. But the first one that I
As a man.
remember that I bought by myself,
Yeah.
I don't remember that suit. It probably something very, very hideous that had like 17 buttons on the front or something. But I can't vividly remember the first
Yeah.
suit that I bought.
But when you decided to obviously like make the switch from working a 9-to-5 job to fashion, like why was it so distinctive for you to do like suits or like
Yeah, well, I
menswear?
didn't start with suits.
Okay.
I definitely started with menswear. I went to
Menswear,
make
yeah.
menswear. But in like, not even up to like 4 weeks of saying I went to make only menswear, I was making women's wear.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And I started doing both,
Yeah.
you know. And suits was a business decision.
Okay.
It wasn't, I mean, I love suits, but it was a business decision. It was a business decision because, you know, the way I talked about the guy making $16 million and buying life back, and you're like, oh, did you do the math?
Yeah.
So that's the way I kind of like plan life and look at situations. So the reason, this is not going to be a small masterclass.
I'm loving it. Honestly, like
But-
I'm like when I watch it, I'm going to take notes.
Why I went to do suits is very easy. So I'll take it back a little bit.
Okay.
It's more story time. So
Yeah.
get ready.
Yeah.
So there was a TV reality show in Nigeria a long time ago.
Okay.
It was a football one, right?
Yeah.
And for you to get a chance to come into the camp,
Okay.
you know, like MBJ, you buy the form,
Okay.
you buy the form, right? And the form was 3,000 naira.
3,000 naira. Wow.
Really?
But like, what was 3,000 naira then? Like now, what would you equate it to?
3,000
right
naira would be like,
10K.
yeah,
20?
a lot more actually, maybe
Okay.
more like 15 or something. But yeah, but 3,000 naira.
Okay.
And in 4 weeks, 30,000 people had registered for this
30,000.
tournament. Yeah, 30,000. Now,
Wow.
how much money was made in 4 weeks? No matter how bad your math is. Yeah?
3-point-something million.
Yeah. So you had like, so let's do the math together. So this will shock you, right?
Okay.
So 30,000, right?
Okay.
1,000 is 3 zeros.
Yes.
30 is 1 0 and 3, right? So
Okay.
we literally have 4 zeros and 1 3.
Okay.
Stay with me. Right?
I'm here.
That's 30,000 people.
Okay.
Then you had 3,000 naira. 3,000 naira has another 3 zeros. So if you add 3 zeros to 4 zeros, that gives you 7 zeros.
Okay.
A million has
Six.
6 zeros.
Wow.
You're with me. So that's a million plus 1 extra zero.
Wow.
Then when you take 3 times 3, that's 9. So that is 90 plus 6 zeros. That's what 90 million naira was made in 4 weeks.
Wow.
From registration, with no guarantee that you will get anywhere. But the person that was doing this show already made 90 million naira.
Wow.
Now, 90 million is a whole lot of money,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And when I saw that, that was the first business plan that I ever saw in my life.
Wow. How did you get a hold of the business plan?
I just
Just
said,
like friends of a
what
friend?
can I sell and make 3,000 naira and sell to 30,000 people?
Wow.
So I make 90 million naira. Not in 4 weeks, but even in a year.
Wow.
That's a business plan right there. So when people say business plan,
That's still a valid business
that
plan.
is
right
very,
now.
very easy. That's when I mentor people, I tell you, this is how you write your business plan.
Yeah.
Think of what you can do, and you can make a profit of 3,000 naira and sell 30,000 units. Now, if you think that 30,000 units is too many units to sell, right? Switch it around. Think of something you can do that you can make 30,000 naira and sell 3,000 units. That's 19 million.
Wow.
So switch it around at any point in time you want. And maybe you don't want to make 19 million for the first year. Maybe you want to just make 10 million.
Yeah.
If you want to make 10 million, think of something that costs, like you can make a profit of what? 1,000 naira and sell to 10,000 people. That's 10 million naira.
This is knowledge that you should be like people should be paying to hear? Like what you just dropped.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about
So
it.
that is a business plan. So when you now know the item, you now figure, how am I going to sell this 10,000 units? How am I going to sell? You've asked yourself a question. That's going to be your what? Your marketing plan. So my plan is to go to schools, go to university camp, because in university, there are how many thousand people in your university? So if I have a product I can sell in this university and make 1,000 naira off, and these students can buy it compulsory, then great, I have it. You know what? Then we go and talk to university authority and say, can we make a university face cap mandatory?
So
And you have 10,000 people in this school. So if we sell this face cap, we'll make some amount of money. So school, you take 60%. I will produce and I'll take 40%.
wow.
All you have to do is say yes, and I'll produce everything and make it mandatory as part of the matriculation process. You get the face cap for the school. No school will say no to making that kind of money.
So you use that strategy to start your business,
To start making suits.
to start making suits.
Because I could make 40,000 naira from one particular item. At the point in time, my suit cost like 60K.
Wow.
So that's why I started. When I saw the whole, I'm like, suit is one of the things that they pay a lot of money for.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, let's go and get the skills to make suits and start selling suits. Then I started making suits. I started loving the idea of suits. I wear suits to work even though I'm not seeing any clients.
Yeah, I feel like this is the first.
One of the very few times you see me wear casual.
Dress down.
I like to dress casual, but I really love a suit. I could wake up in the morning and wear a suit and sit at home and watch TV.
I can't lie to you. I'm still like just processing everything that you said, like with the math, and I'm thinking about like what do I have to do, you know, like to make 3,000 naira off and like sell, even if it's 300
Put it on
people.
YouTube, get subscriptions and get to 1,000. And when they start monetizing the thing, the money will start coming. Then you give me 50% for this idea.
I'll give you a commission. But yeah, so
Igbo girl accepted. I'll give you a commission.
I'll give you a commission, obviously, because I'm serious. I'll give you a commission. But what's one thing that you wish someone had told you, like when you were starting out?
I wish someone had told me these things that I'm telling people.
Exactly.
Because the funny thing is that when we started out with fashion, it was not a friendly terrain. People hid information from you. Unlike now, we say, come for a mentorship class and free of charge or pay some small money, and people are grumbling. Then people just technically just hid information from you. I can remember sitting in the room with designers, and it was Arise Fashion Week, and I was asking them, I would like to participate in Arise Fashion Week. Does anybody know how to? And no one said anything.
But they knew, obviously.
Or when it's Fashion Week, like half of them were showing in the same Fashion Week.
So how did you, like, you know, get your
I tried to show in Fashion Week. So I went through every single motion. Do you know somebody that knows somebody? Yes, I will meet the person. And I'll meet the person. I must have asked maybe close to like 30 people. One person was the one that gave me the way to make it happen. And she said, she worked for this day style at the point in time. And she said, my email address is, I don't want to call her name.
Yeah, of course.
My email address is angel.anosike@thisdaystyle.com.
You want me?
Who's the name of the publisher? I'm like, Unduka Obagena. So now you know his email address. Send him an email.
Wow.
And she said, preferably send him to a day that you know he's very busy. I'm like, how would I know he's very busy? He does shows. A day or two to the show he's busy. On the day of the show he's busy. He read every single thing that drops in his phone.
Wow.
And when I sent the email, the reply I got immediately was received from him. And I was shocked. Then I sent it again, and they called me, sent me a mail from London and said, oh, Arise Fashion Week, blah, 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 blah. And when I called the number, and I said, you made a mistake on my letter, because I put another designer's name, even though it was my email address. He said, oh, I really thought we will correct it. Publisher said we should get in touch with you. So publisher made it happen. But guess what? I thanked every 30 person that I spoke to. Some of them claimed they made it happen. I told them thank you.
Oh.
Do you get what I mean? They said, oh, see, now we have given you the job. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. God bless you. God bless you. I'm really grateful.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm so grateful to them, but I knew where it came from. And the key thing is that when people claim to have helped you and they've not really helped you and they've shown that you've shown gratitude, they in their heads also feel indebted to you somehow.
Yeah, and they feel.
So tomorrow when they go somewhere and talk about you, they will reluctantly just go like, "Hey, yes, he is my boy," which is great. If you call me your boy, great. You just open another door for me. That means you know me.
Exactly. So I was going to ask. I don't know if we fully explored your personality, the beginning part, but would you say, are you introverted or extroverted?
I'm definitely very introverted.
Very introverted. So as an introvert, I feel like networking is so key.
It is.
So how do you network as an introvert?
If you invite me to anything, any function, I would most likely honor your invitation to go to that. So that's where I network. But you would say never, you would hardly see me. Oh, I saw my bar yesterday, or I was on this nightclub and I saw my.
Very intentional. But I think my question is like for someone who's watching and is very introverted and is just like obviously like looking to start their own like fashion line or whatever, and like maybe they get invited to things like by chance, right? How do they like start conversation? Imagine if someone comes up to you, if they're introverted and they see you at an event and they want to have a conversation with you, how would you like to be approached?
That's the funny thing. People say I have.
Not just for you, Sha.
People say I have
you're more like.
I have a face that you are like.
Do, Sha.
I don't. This one will backslap me if I say hello
You
to
do.
him. And I heard that yesterday. I hear it every day that I'm not approachable.
Approachable, exactly.
I'm like, no, but deal with your insecurities first. It's not me. I'm like, how does a non-approachable person look?
Okay.
So he says, so it's actually you and not the person. So let the person actually say, fuck off. Then you say, okay, no, he's not approachable.
Okay, so you just go ahead and just say hi and introduce themselves.
But what I always tell people is that imagine you always wanted to meet somebody. Study the person. So when you meet the person, say the most intriguing thing about the person. That the person like, oh, sir, good afternoon. And I've really, really looked up to you. One of the things that really impressed me in your career is the fact that you have spoken at Harvard 3 times. I don't know how a designer would have ever done that. Now you just busted my chair. I'm like, okay, what's your name again?
Okay.
Do you get what I mean?
Okay.
So you don't go there and start going like, hello, hi. I didn't think you would answer me. Okay, then I won't answer you then. Do you get what I mean?
What you mean?
Or you go in my DM and go, hello.
Yeah.
That's like, delete. I'm moving on because you have nothing else to say. So just do it and think of the person, not just think about yourself. People think about themselves when they're trying to communicate. Think about the person because the person is human.
Yeah.
Everybody has something you can pinch and like stuff. So
your own
if you're worried about networking in places, you really have to study the person you want to meet and talk to.
I like that.
Or just get something that you feel is nice. I watched a show last year. It was really, really good. Or I watched an opportunity to watch a fashion show last year, but I thought it was amazing. You had 400 people. You did a standalone show, showed about 80-something pieces, like by yourself. Like,
you know that you've done your research.
There's no way I would not give you a second look.
I like that.
Yes, and I think that's the way it works. So use every opportunity. You can't be in fashion and not struggle to want to be in Fashion Week just to even stand by the door and watch the show.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Till today, when I go overseas, I walk through all the stores. I will go into Tom Ford, I'm going to Gucci, I'll just go and just look and leave because I enjoy it. So I want to just be around it.
Yeah, I think I met you for the first time at a fashion show. This is
yes.
10 years ago?
Is it 10 years?
Yeah.
More than?
So much has changed, but I feel like at the time...
It was a rise.
No, it wasn't. Was it a rise? No, it was LFDW.
It was LFDW.
Yeah.
I remember what you were wearing.
What was I wearing?
You were wearing a corset like this.
Oh, yeah.
A very tight corset.
Wow. Okay.
I'm like, how are you? Good to meet you.
Yeah,
jeans, high heel shoes.
No, it was,
you're taking your
black
time.
It was black pants.
Was it black pants?
Yeah,
okay.
it was just like
Definitely
very basic black pants. What's a color that you want to live in, like for the rest of your life, if you?
My favorite color is blue, but I want to live in gray for the rest of my life.
Why gray?
I don't know. It's just something about gray that I'm loving. My whole studio is gray. I'm just liking the gray vibe. It's just.
Does it calm you?
It is.
Is there a color
it
that
is very
calms you down?
soothing, to be honest.
What kind of music do you listen to?
Oh, every kind of music, but I like old school.
Of course.
More slow kind of music.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. You know what I'm saying? Of course.
Yeah, I'm old. It's okay. It's fine.
no, like
I get that
was-
shade from
you
Gen
know,
Z every time. Like, you're old. They're like, yeah, if I'm not old, what would that be?
No,
but and guess what? You'll be old too.
but also, like you mentioned, like obviously having one song out. Is it on YouTube? Can we go watch
Yeah,
it?
the video's on YouTube.
Okay.
I
Wow,
put in Mai
interesting.
Atafo featuring YJ and Praise.
Oh, that's a whole,
I came with 2 guns.
that's a whole thing.
A whole thing.
Do you think you want to like resurrect your music career anytime? Was it even like a career? It was just like, I want to try.
It was
new
my
things.
interest in
I want
music.
to-
I
yeah,
love
exactly.
music. Like, I can sit and analyze music the whole day. I listen
Okay.
to every kind of music.
Okay,
I
I'll
have
send
my
you some.
perspective about music and stuff. And yeah, but I realized that it's definitely not singing. I leave that to the shower. But I think I can do amazing A&R for musicians.
Okay.
I can tell musicians how to monetize what they have without them knowing. There's no reason why Rema doesn't have a yellow dress.
Yellow dress. What's yellow dress? I'm sorry.
Officially, this is Nay's. This is Angel's blonde moment. So yeah, I see this fine girl from one party. She wear.
Yellow.
Thank you very much.
What does that mean?
I see this fine girl from one party. She wear.
Yellow.
Who sang that song?
Should I wear yellow?
Who sang that song?
Rema.
So why does Rema not have a yellow dress? Because in his concerts these days, when he sees anyone in yellow, that is the trigger for that song.
Ah, so
He
should
sings
wear
to people wearing yellow. Anybody wearing yellow, he goes at yellow. There's a whole performance in the Netherlands where he was just going yellow, yellow, and the crowd was going, they were erupting.
But he hasn't even worn
So
yellow.
even if he wore yellow shorts that day, I think it's getting the way. So if Rema even has a T-shirt that is yellow and
should
has
make an
Rema,
Atafo T-shirt
just for
for him.
Rema, it will sell based on that fact that the coin just dropped. Yeah, I said it was a blonde moment, but yeah.
So he should
And she sang the song with me. Oh.
I have a headache. He should
She
make
said she has a headache.
he should make a yellow dress and sell.
Yeah, because
That is so smart.
he
You're
makes
a
so much emphasis
businessman.
about that yellow. In his concert, he emphasizes the yellow. There are even things on Instagram that that girl wearing yellow. So any girl wearing yellow is like a Rema girl.
So imagine if Rema goes to make a yellow dress now, shouldn't you get some sort of like, intellectual property or like,
Yeah, Rema is yellow, he sang yellow. Me, I'm just a tailor. If he gives me, if he tells me to make the yellow dress great, or you can design the yellow
why
T-shirt.
don't you design that and pitch it to them?
I've pitched a few things to Nigerian artists before, and once you're done with the pitch, they had the same idea, that's what they tell you, and they never do it, they never execute it. So the thing is that I feel they don't trust.
Nigerian designers?
No,
Or
generally
people?
they don't trust because they built their career by themselves.
Yeah.
So people come and want to tap into it and like, okay, why would I trust you?
Yeah.
So maybe the company themselves can actually start seeing things beyond the artist. Because for me, these guys have done so great, they've done so well, but how do you monetize these singers without them actually singing? It's if not, I don't want to hear your song,
Can we have
but
a business
I want you to make money.
Can we have a business meeting?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I feel like there are a lot of like ideas, like just
and
a
these
lot
things are out there. It's like
It's really not.
Drake's.
It's really not. People don't
What's
think
that
like that.
Hotline
People don't
song?
think like that.
No, they don't. That's what I'm saying.
They really
But the format is not new. It's out there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Nigerian artists don't have merch.
Yeah.
They don't have merch. You should have merch because you are that big. You should have merchandise. And when they come to your... Beyonce performed in London. The next day on Oxford Street, there was a whole store
Yeah, my sister got me a
dedicated to
Beyonce
her merch.
Yeah.
And the queue was as long as the queue that was waiting for the concert to buy the merch after she had performed.
That's
I
so
mean, it's
smart.
ridiculous.
That's actually so smart.
Do you get what I mean?
And the merch is very
There's
basic.
no reason why a lot of people like Mr. Money, Anosike, should have merch.
Yeah.
Because he's a fashion guy.
Yeah.
He should have sunglasses. They will sell out. Anosike does sunglasses today.
Yeah.
It will sell out.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have to do anything. He should just put it on his website. Order, deliver to you. There's no need to, if you don't like it, don't order. If you like it, order. That's it. Then tomorrow he gives discount based on purchase of his merch. So if his ticket is $20, if you have any of his merch, you pay $15. That's ridiculous.
Did you like maths in school?
I
seem very good at mathematics.
I did marketing. I did marketing for years. That's what I did in my former job before I left. So I love marketing. That's the one thing that if I left fashion today, I'll go back to marketing.
Don't you think it's something you can do on the side too? No, you don't have time for that. Because you've dropped a lot of.
The tailoring world that I'm
gems.
in is very annoying. But yeah, I definitely will go back to marketing.
Do you know how to? I mean, let's not. I was going to ask, do you know how to sew? Well, of course, I know.
Oh yeah, I know how to sew, but I'm very terrible.
Yeah,
I'm worse than my worst tailor.
I learned how to sew.
Oh.
Yeah. There's a year where.
Will you work for me?
No, I'm not interested. I'm really not. When you finish secondary school, my dad. My dad was trying to like figure out like what can you do when you're waiting at home, and I said I wanted to learn how to do makeup, and he's like, makeup. If I learned makeup that year, probably would have been so big right now. But he's like, makeup, so you'll be painting your face. Dun, 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 dun. So then he sends me to tailoring school.
Oh, man.
So I did that off and on for like a year.
I thought your dad was cool, though.
He was cool now, but he was annoying at the time. Obviously, like I was
that
still
part
young.
you didn't get it.
I was still young, so I learned how to sew. But it's just you have to have interest.
Oh yeah, you have to.
You have to have interest.
If you don't practice, there's nothing.
I didn't like it. Like cutting. I used to make like 6-piece skirts. You know, I done like dresses. I was a tailor at some point in my life. I really was a tailor, but I don't think I have interest. But this has been such a good conversation, Mai. I feel like when we started, I was just like, okay, you got me so nervous.
Me?
Yeah.
How?
Well, okay, now.
I was being quiet and just sitting down here waiting for my journalist to come out of her shell.
But end of the episode, what's the verdict? We spoke about like, you know, the vibe, depending on how the vibe, like how people engage in conversations and stuff. What do you think the verdict of this
What do you think the verdict
show?
is?
I think it was a good, very insightful conversation.
Very engaging.
Do you think this is one of the best interviews that you've ever had?
If these are great interviews, are terrible interviews, and this is average interview, you're actually between here, not
I'll take
there.
that.
So you're there.
I'm very humble, so I'll take
You're
that.
there.
I don't need to be, you know.
But it was a good one.
It was very good, honestly. Like I feel like I'm going to watch it. I'm going to be texting you a lot more. I mean, obviously within like, you know, because we need like a one-on-one conversation because your mind is just amazing. I'm so thankful that you came to have this conversation. I hope you know that I appreciate it so much.
I know you do.
I
know
really
you're
do.
worried that I won't do it. Like, why would you?
Yeah, like, no, this is so good. So final thing, like we do here, just tell me 3 things that you're grateful for at the moment. And
3 things I'm grateful for at the moment.
Yeah.
Oof. That should be easy, but now it's almost kind of like difficult. I want to say family, but that would be very, very
cliche.
No, that would be very, very random. So I'm most grateful for my wife.
Okay.
My daughter.
So that's the same one. It's still in one.
I think that's family. We are 2 different human beings.
No, but it's still under family. It's still under family.
So I'm grateful for family.
Yes.
For those 2 humans in my life. I think they make me who I am every day. I'm grateful that I decided to take the plunge to do what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, we're so thankful too.
I think with fashion, what I've done is buy some happiness, if not money, but happiness. So I'm grateful for what I'm doing right now. And I will sound like a typical Nigerian. I probably never expect this coming from me, but I'm very grateful for God.
Why?
That's Nigerian, sir.
Okay.
So are you going down? No, I'm going up into Jesus' name. But I'm grateful for God in my life because I believe that a lot of things that have happened to me in my life wasn't because of man or anything. And I can only attribute that to God because I've seen what has happened to other people. And I'm still here and I'm still doing, you know, what makes me happy. And I think I'm thriving with it. So I thank God for that.
I like it. So I like it a lot. This was so nice. Oh, Mai, thank you so much for coming. Oh, thank you.
It was great. It was good.